My name is Aqueelah Ellzy. I am the second year principal at the Memphis Academy Charter School, which is located in the Kensington area of Philadelphia. The school has been around only for 3 years. I came in the second year of the school, and I spent 16 years as an educator in Philadelphia, the majority of those years as a teacher, and a short period of time as an assistant principal. I was a teacher, and then I went to assistant principal. I went back to teacher, which was coincidentally the perfect time when Common Core rolled out. So I came back to the principalship with a really unique take on teaching and learning, having an understanding of both sides. So I think that that's important because as an instructional leader in the school that I work in, it really poised me to be able to collaborate with teachers, not just as an administrator, but as a person wearing a teacher hat first. The school that I work in, Memphis Academy, is housed in what was formerly the John Paul Jones School, again in Kensington. And John Paul Jones was notoriously persistently dangerous, historically underachieving. I spent 8 years working at the Magnet School, which is just a few blocks away from John Paul Jones, and was kind of the thing of legend. We would threaten the Magnet School kids by saying, do you want to go to Jones? And they would be fearful and get back to work. So as the principal of Memphis Academy, that really just means that I continue wearing my teacher hat, but that my classroom is just a lot bigger. My classroom is, in fact, a full city block. We house 887 students as of today. We have 63 teachers, 103 staff members, and of that 887 students, we have 60% are Hispanic, 30% are African American, 10% are Caucasian or other. 28% of our population is special education. 14% are ELL, and 99% of our students receive free lunch. We have 4 students who qualify for reduced lunch, and I know exactly who they are. So the demographic of my school is, it's a difficult school, and coming into this principalship, it was really clear that this was a building that was in very high need and was high in all of the things you want to be low, and low in all of the things that you want to be high. So everyone who loved me was, are you sure that this is what you want to do? Is it safe? Are you going to be okay? So almost 2 years later, I'm standing and not just safe and secure, but really feeling very satisfied with the growth that we've made. In year one, after the turnaround, the first thing that was a priority was ensuring safety. It was really important to address the serious incidents, really important to address the safety issue. So the first year, although I was not there, the first year the priority was really on establishing a safe culture and getting kids in classrooms. If they picked up a book, that was a bonus, but getting kids in the classrooms, out of the hallways, off of the windowsills. I hear horror stories about students sitting on windowsills, hiding in fire towers, and being unaccounted for. So I was not there for that. So the growth that we've made is certainly much more powerful based on my experience at the school. I came in the second year. I was brought on to introduce an instructional program and seed the instructional climate in the building. And one of the first things that I did as the instructional leader in the building was pretty much demand that we needed 100 steps in the building. I had used the program as a teacher, and so I was really familiar with the gains that my students had made and the relationships that I was able to build with my own students as a teacher. And so I knew that it was the program that we needed. So in that first initial summer when we were going through, selecting programs, it was one of the things that was, really a non-negotiable. And in that time, it became crystal clear that this was something that we needed because as I spoke to, some of the students that I had seen in the community and spoke to teachers, it was one of those which came first, the chicken or the egg type things. I would ask the students, how come, why aren't we carrying books? Why don't you carry books home? Why not a book bag? And I would ask teachers, well, why not assign homework? And the teachers were saying, well, we don't assign homework because the kids don't carry books. And the students were saying, well, we don't carry books because the teachers don't assign homework. And the teachers were really very adamant that sending books home was an issue. And they were really fearful that sending books home, I don't know, I couldn't figure out if they were protecting the books from the kids or the kids from the books. So we knew that it was something that we needed to do. Last year, at the end of the year, we were recognized by the Inquirer as being a school making the highest gains. We were actually second in the region for making the highest gains. Now, we made those gains on, it was growth. And so at this point, we really have to focus on achievement. But I think that it's really important to note that starting so low, we made such huge gains. For those of you from Pennsylvania, we made almost a 20-point SPP gain in one school year. So in year 3, we are focusing on differentiation and engagement. We renamed 100 Steps 800 Steps because in the first year, kids read 100 steps and then they were like, yeah, I met the challenge, woohoo, I'm done. No, you have to continue reading. So we renamed it 800 Steps to give our students a higher goal, and that's actually increased our reading practice tremendously. So for the first year, I think reading practice, I mean, we never hit more than 10% of the kids meeting the target for reading practice, and this year that's almost tripled. One of the other things that we did was we introduced more incentives, and our students wear blazers, and for every 200 steps they get a paw pin that they wear. And so I was struck, so I've created this sort of positive posse. The kids are wearing the pins as a way to signify that they're meeting the goals. And 4 pins, because our mascot is a wildcat. So 4 pins, wildcat has 4 paws, 4 pins, you are invited to the principal's banquet at the end of the year. And it's just become such a part of our culture that at the end of this year we have to collect the pins back because there's like already a black market for, kids planning to wear their pins next year and get their invitations earlier. So we have to collect the pins back. We're switching to blue paws next year and then revisiting the gold pins the following year. So for every pin that we collect back, the students get a chance to win a tablet. So the prize in the raffle is a tablet, and you can only get chances for the raffle by turning your pins back. So the more you read, the more chances you have in the raffle. But we have to collect the pins back. The other thing that we've done is we've provided more PD. The first year we did about 6 or 7 days, which I supplemented from my own experience. This year we had 35 days, which has made a tremendous difference. We also rolled the program out school-wide so that our students were receiving reading instruction from not just reading teachers, but science, social studies, math teachers are also part of the reading program. And it's really important that they understand how closely tied to achievement reading is. I'm going to pause there because we have a video of one of our students that we interviewed, and you'll see, we'll highlight her growth.
My name is Jasmine. I'm 14. I'm in 8th grade. My favorite subjects are math, science, and reading. For high school, I want to get a scholarship for football.
Last year when I first came to know Jasmine, her teacher came down and expressed concern that Jasmine was a blue reader and that she was not having any success moving her.
I wasn't more into reading. It didn't come to me that it was important. And I would always get frustrated. I would walk out of the room without even telling the teacher. I would just do whatever I wanted and I would get in trouble for it. They would call my dad. Jasmine this, Jasmine that. I was hard-headed.
In the beginning, it was really tough communicating to students that they were significantly behind.
The ESOL teacher told me that my reading level is 1 blue. It didn't hit me as much because I was like, oh, I don't care. I don't worry about that.
We knew that we needed an approach to address the urgency. I offered to conference with Jasmine individually and to work with her as a personal reading coach. I relentlessly decided that this was the way and that we were going to figure it out and that we were going to be comfortable being uncomfortable for a little while. And so the first couple of sessions, Jasmine would come downstairs and
refuse to read. But I think that as we have persisted in communicating that we are going to support you, and these are the steps that we're going to take to support you, and you have to be an active participant in that support, that's really where the pieces started to make sense.
I started recognizing what I did last year wasn't good. She helped me understand that it's not always going to be easy, but you can try your best. I don't know how she was able to do it. She took time out of what she had to do and read with me. I got better at reading because she helped me have confidence. Step by step, I hit all them reading levels. When I move on to high school, I'm not going to want to be in a low level, and especially be in high school. I bring a book home. I read for 2 hours. I don't get upset when I have to read. I just pull my book out and read.
Someone taking a little bit more of an individual interest in her has, paid off tremendously for her. The bigger picture is not just that she's grown so much as a reader, but she's really become a school leader. There's just a spark that, she's a different person. She's a different person. She's become more literate, more confident. She's really become a school leader, walking around right now with a paw pen.
I'm at 261 reading steps. I believe in myself now. I want to focus on school. And I actually got tested today for black. My dad actually is proud of me because I had 5 certificates. I almost had honor roll, but I had 1 C. I'm gonna fix that C to a B or A. I appreciate her reading with me because it actually helped me. Because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be on the reading level I am now.
So I'm happy to report Jasmine did make it into black, and she's still on black. There's a year of work within black, so it's certainly not an overnight thing. So she did make it into black, and she's currently enjoying Goosebumps and reading lots of nonfiction. I spoke to her yesterday, and she was telling me about a book about hurricanes that she's been reading. So I do still keep in touch with her, but every day she came down, and the first week or so, it was I'm not reading. I said, it's okay. I'm reading to you. You came down so that we can, we'll share the gift of literacy. I'll read to you. And I read to her for at least a week. Finally, she, started to come around. So that's just one of the many success stories that we've experienced at Memphis Read Academy. And I think that it's just really important to highlight the fact that it's really about individual kids and the growth that they make. And sometimes it's really easy to lump the success together as a statistic or a number of kids who are now proficient, but we really do our best to focus on the individual accomplishments of individual students and provide individual intervention for students and make sure that we have a path for students that's appropriate and that's aligned to their needs and their strengths. And so it's just been really, truly rewarding. So what drives me is just a passion to teach and serve as an instructional leader in a school that I would choose for my own children. And that's every day. That's what gets me up to go to work and to do the very difficult work that I do at Memphis Read Academy. The other thing that I just wanted to touch on is just some of the systems that promote achievement. We have lots of internal accountability systems for monitoring the program. One of the recent things that we do after testing, we wanted to make sure that we would breathe new life into the program after testing. Kids read independently during the testing window, but there really wasn't a lot of time for conferencing. So one of the things that we've done is team leaders or like deans or administrators visit every classroom during the assigned independent reading time, and we take metrics of students on task as indicated by eyes on page, teachers on task as indicated by being mobile or conferencing with students. And we survey students every day, either at the bus stop, in the cafeteria, in the hallway. What's your power level? What's your power goal? What's your level? How many steps do you have? If a student cannot tell me their power goal, my response is always the same. Let your teacher know. You spoke to Miss Ellzy today at the bus stop. and you need a power goal, and that you need to see me by the end of the day tomorrow to share that power goal with me. So we're holding the teachers accountable by holding the students accountable for their data. The students wear a passport around their neck as a part of their lanyard, and inside of that data passport, they have their starting levels from any of the assessments that we've given, including their ERLA color level. And throughout the year, at specified benchmarks throughout the year, we update the passport, and students at every conversation, when we bring in a parent for a disciplinary meeting or whatever, we sit down at the table, the first thing we do is look at that data passport, and we talk about where you are and where you're trying to go, and how whatever it is that we're discussing fits into your vision or your goals for yourself. So with that, I am humbled to be in the room with so many powerful educators, and I thank you so much for your attention. Thank you.